Well, we'll see. We'll see. Are we going? I don't know. We're gonna find out. YouTube says it's scheduled. Doesn't say we've actually started though. So let's go take a look. Yeah, it looks like we're there. That's good. Fantastic. Can you hear me? Let's see. Let's get this mic a little closer. You know, it's been a while, so like, I've got to get my shit together. Yeah, it looks like we're there. Just give me 1 second while the audio catches up, so I can really see what we're going to be doing here. Let's get this mic a little closer. You know, it's been a while, so like, I've got to get my shit together. Think we're there. Just give me 1 second while the audio catches up, so I can really see. All right, that sounds good to me. Anyways, if you're hanging out, welcome. Cool. Glad to see you. Glad you're here. Yeah, it has been a while. Yeah, it's been a few months, I guess. You know, life gets in the way. That's just how it is. And I feel like every time I take a hiatus and then I come back and I talk to you, because this is genuinely something I enjoy doing. It's a topic I enjoy discussing. It's a topic I enjoy getting involved in and also shredding. So because it's so easy to do both. But every time I come back, I'm like, oh, fucking life just beat the shit out of me. And now here I am. And because I've sworn in the first couple of minutes here, I'm probably going to... the YouTube algorithm's not going to like that. Just give me 1 second. So I figured tonight I've got a little bit of time. I've been feeling kind of antsy. I recently started a new job. I'm very happy about it, but it's a lot of work, and it does take a lot out of me mentally and emotionally. It's worth it. It is worth it. I'm doing good work with a good organization for a good reason. So I'm happy about that. But yeah, it's taken quite a toll on me. Please excuse this the remnants of this pimple here, which a pimple right in the middle of the face is a great thing to have your first batch of days at a new job. But whatever. Anyway, as you can see, my office is still a chaotic hellhole. It's beautiful and I love it, but I wouldn't ever want to bring a person in here. So tonight the game plan is I've got time to kill. I've got nothing really happening, and I did briefly start to go over my paranormal subreddits because I have a couple of different Reddit accounts, and they're for very specific things. And I have a LowStrangeness account, which is all just a bunch of paranormal topics. And usually, if I'm feeling a little down, I'll go to the paranormal stuff because it's like it takes me out, you know. But I figured tonight that is what we can do. We can just check things out, hang out together. I'm getting a warning on the bitrate stream. That's not super great. Let's see if we can fix that. I don't know why that's happening, but let's just take a look. My internet's been a little weird lately. Okay, let's see. Let's see if we can bump this up here. I don't know if this is going to fuck up the stream, so let's find out. We will see. I'm trying to watch the preview window. See if that helps at all. I think the key here is when you come to my streams, what you should be doing is just wait 10 minutes and then join us, because the first 10 minutes is always this sort of dumb shit. All right. It looks like everything is okay. I'm going to check the audio one more time. I think the key here is when you come to my streams. Yeah, I think we're all right. Stream status is good. It is saying I have a lower bit rate than I should have, but that not according to OBS. So anyway, here we are. We're back. You're gonna see me on my phone from time to time, because that's how it goes. I've got a mug of kratom here that I've been kind of working on throughout the day. I think I'm gonna be taking a kratom break soon. I don't know. I was just starting to like the taste. All right, folks, let's get into it. So let's do the grow down. Wait, I bumped the code. That's probably fine, right? All right, so we're on Reddit. We are on my LowStrangeness account, which you can't see because I've got the little fucking window there. And we're just going to scroll, and we're going to talk about some shit we find. Now, full disclosure, I did already start scrolling a little bit. I did already kind of look at some stuff. So I'm going to try to act... I'm going to try to act surprised, maybe. I guess. Hold on. We got all kinds of shit falling and shit. All right. That's a little too bright on me. There we go. It's better. All right. How long we've been streaming? 8 minutes, and we're just now getting going. Beautiful. This is what I like. All right. So... First, let's say, what do we got here? What's the top thing? Surviving. What has, by the way, if you're jumping into this stream right now, what have I missed? Now, I'm aware of the balloons. Do we want to talk about the balloons? I think we'll probably end up talking about them anyway. But other than that, has there been anything big that happened? I mean, I'm aware of the, like I said, shooting down the objects. I'm aware of that. I'm aware of the fucking conspiracy theories about the chemical disaster, which is another topic we can get into. Don't shit on me. But has anything really big happened? Like, we didn't find a fucking mermaid castle or some crazy shit, right? Like, our Dogman turned into a real subreddit. Not a LARPing one. Like, there wasn't anything huge like that? Okay. I just wanted to check. I just wanted to know. That's all. All right, so let's get into it. Let's see. Top post here. I'm sorting by hot. Usually I sort by best, but we'll sort by hot unless it gets boring. Maybe we'll search by new at some point if I get bored. Let's see. From our unresolved mysteries, surviving the unsurvivable. How can some people recover from rabies after developing symptoms? And are there some who can survive infection unharmed without medical intervention? Medical mystery. I think we should just breeze past this one because I don't know much. Rabies is a disease which terrifies people for good reason. The rabies virus, which also, just for note, was one of the viruses that some people now think is where legends of vampirism come from. I'm not entirely sold on the rabies idea, but is a single-stranded RNA virus which can be carried by any warm-blooded mammal. Although some are much more susceptible than others, it exists in over 150 countries and on every continent except Antarctica. The virus travels along the nerves of the host until it reaches the brain, causing physical and behavioral symptoms, and before too long, death. All right, so there. Is this something we want to go through? Is this? This doesn't seem like news. This is just the. Look at this shit. I'm not going through this. You know what? I'll answer your question. How do some people do it? The same way some people never get the flu, man. The same way some people somehow don't get chickenpox. Like, we're big bags of fucking electric pudding. You know, like, we're not all the same. That's how. That's how. What do we got? Our high strangeness. Birds in Mexico suddenly. Our high strangeness, by the way, is maybe one of my favorites. There's a lot of bullshit there, but there's a lot of interesting stuff. Birds in Mexico suddenly stopped flying. Let's take a look.
¿Este el fin del mundo?
Here, let's get the sound.
¿Este el fin del mundo? ¿Este el fin del mundo?
I don't know what he says. I don't know. I don't know. Would that have something to do with magnetic fields, maybe? Because birds have the tiny little magnet, for lack of a better term, that guides them. So would that maybe be something to do with that? There might be something geomagnetic in that area. I don't know. Let's take a look, see what the comments say. They're migrating. When birds migrate, they pick a place to rest and stay there for almost a full day before they continue. It's just a big flock. These are starlings that are known to travel in gigantic flocks, communicate with each other with an almost hive mind instinct to keep from bumping each other. I didn't realize that. You know, that seems pretty fucking obvious that they would stop and rest. It seems obvious. Fucking apparently not. To me, anyway. It is strange to me that they just stop in the middle of fucking a development. Birds are smart. It just seems strange they would stop in a development. You would think like maybe on telephone wires or in trees or some sort of wooded area. I guess not. This area looks pretty much like a brand new housing development. Probably was one of the flock's normal migrating pit stops, but now there are houses there. I like this babbling and then I read the next comment and it explains what I'm talking about. That's good. All right, cool. It's an odd sight, though. This NASA photo released in 2015 shows what looks like a crab sitting on the rock face. Skeptics claim it's just a case of pareidolia, or the tendency of the brain to see familiar shapes, which is pareidolia. So why don't NASA revisit the site? If it's still there, it's a rock. If it's gone, proof of life. If you follow my Twitter, you will see that I fucking love looking at Mars gigapans. It's not my personal Twitter, the LowStrangeness Twitter. Don't follow my personal Twitter. You most likely won't like it. There's a big crossover between paranormal and certain ideologies that makes me very uncomfortable, and so there's a really good chance you won't like my Twitter. Anyway, I've looked at this specific gigapan where this comes from before. I have looked at many gigapans. In fact, I already looked at this link tonight. This is a classic. It looks like something. Even if it's a fucking rock, how does it erode like that? I'm not a geologist, obviously. I don't know. There might be a totally normal explanation, but it's fucking wild. So anyway, this is a thread I already looked into tonight. So in here, I linked a couple of threads from my LowStrangeness Twitter, in which I already went through a bunch of gigapans. So let's take a look at some of those too while we're here. If I can find my comment. Oh, what is this? Well, hell yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, this guy's like, it's an edited image. The legs were added to make it appear I've seen the raw photo, dude. It's not. It's just a fucking photo. Also, this sort of shit, the total blurry image kind of proof. It's a little blurry, but like, fucking look at, it's not that blurry where you can't see that it's something fucking bizarre, right? I mean, if that's your fucking takeaway, that it's a little blurry, you're gonna hate the shit that I'm gonna dig up here. Let's just go right to my profile. I'll bring it right to the comment, and then we can look at it like that. Here we go, 41 minutes ago. Where I say, occasionally I go through Gigapans looking for shit. Here are a couple threads from a while back on Twitter where I dig around and find interesting looking shit, including the Gigapan this image comes from. Some of these I fucked up doing it in line in the thread, so dig around, click around, or dick around. What is clicking around if not dicking around, right? If it looks like the end, but one of them has comments, probably me with more pics. All right, so here's thread 1, which is actually the later thread, so I guess it's technically thread 2. But holy fucking day mode. Give me a second and I will try to night mode this shit. Yeah, my hell. I've been having a lot of sensory issues lately. Fuck, I'll just log in. Well, I'm not going to give you my birth date. So, fuck it. We're just rolling. We're going to roll with day mode. Sorry, y'all. All right. So, here's this thread is from May 28th, 2021. About 2 years ago. Okay, so I'm bored of my day job. I'm going to peruse some Mars Gigapans. Here's the one I'm currently looking at. So, if you want, fucking type that in there. This photo will be there. Right up top here, I noticed 1, 2, 3. I can't tell if my fucking screen's dirty or not. Okay, yeah, there is another one there. 4. There's a bunch of shit in the sky. These could be photo markers. They could be. It's not. I personally think they're from the camera. Okay. There's a couple more in this image. You can see just faint specks. And then we start getting to the weird shit, which you can see in the sidebar here. This how the fuck does that happen? My thought. This looks like right here. It was somewhere else. Like maybe this was leaning upright a little and then fell backward. Or maybe it slid down from there. But softer rock, millions of years of wind and sand erosion, it caused this cool little thing. But it is a cool little looking thing, right? And then we got, here comes some of the blurry shit. This one's going to take a little bit of squinting, I think. So right here, I want to say right up front, I'm just pointing out patterns that I'm seeing. I'm not declaring that it's fucking aliens or anything. I'm just pointing out patterns I see. Anyway, this to me seems very cut or pipe-like, especially because there's a 90-degree angle here and another here. This looks very much like a square. Also, this is flat and it looks like there's a path or something going up this way. This whole area seems very weird to me. This almost looks like a face. That's almost certainly pareidolia right there, sticking out. There is this thing here where I suppose I could increase the contrast a little and really make it pop for you. But if you look, there's an outer shell and a shadowed rim right there. And then something else there. It's almost like something in a tube or blanket. I don't know what the fuck I'm pointing to here. Maybe if I look, it's just a little egg-looking thing. I don't know. But this area, the box here, and this specifically, I think are very interesting. And then we've got this. My caption is, I know nothing about geology, but this formation flagged my mind. There's a lot of like sheets here, and the way that this is landing with all this little shit in here, my brain, if I were to see this on Earth, I would think that it's scrap from building. But you look at things like slate, okay? Slate can break very thin, very sharp, straight lines. Could totally evolve or erode like that. Absolutely. We got another blurry one, but this one really sticks out to me. Even now, it sticks out to me. So it looks like it's got a little like cutaway here. Very straight lines. It's almost box-like. It's got this rim here, then an in-cut area, and another rim. Then you have this little cutout area, and it almost looks like there's a flap or something coming out the top. It's very interesting to me. It's like reminds me of like a weight or something you would carry around. Like a fucking, it's odd to me. And we got this. My caption is only this area jumps out to me. Some of these I look at and now I'm like, okay, maybe it was pareidolia 2 years ago when I saw it, because I'm like, what the fuck am I even talking about? But the cut, the 90-degree cut here, I think that must be what I'm talking about. And this shadowy looking thing. First off, right away, we have this smooth fucking thing right here that's casting a shadow, so it's lifted up off the ground. Then we have this little thing, which I assume is just rock or something sticking up. It's just interesting. It looks like a little dude squatting. I love it. But there's a bunch of just like thin rock here, and you can tell because of the shadows how thin it all is. This fucking smooth guy is strange though. Come on, what's happening? Give me my picture. I think we might have froze up. I dug too deep. Let's try to get back to it. Okay, here we go. This looks like a sheet of rock. Look at, you can see here the shadow there, and then the discoloration from where you can see the background. So this is very thin. Obviously I don't have a gauge, but I wouldn't say it's more than a couple of inches at best. But there is clearly light going through it. Here's the light on the ground from these holes. So it's just a thin sheet of rock with fucking holes blasted in it. I don't know what it is, but there's the smooth rock from the last picture. This is all one picture, by the way. This is all one gigapan. You can look at any gigapan and find just tons and tons of shit. It's very bizarre. We got this guy here. Very smooth broken piece. My brain interpreted it as a broken wheel. I think the reason why I saw that was it's got this curve here, and then there also appears to be like a very curved piece right there. So my brain was like, oh, it's part of a larger thing that's been broken. It's interesting. Could be totally natural. Still interesting. Seemingly clamshell amphitheater-esque erosion. Look at this. Comes up to a point, comes down, clearly hollow inside with almost even shell around it. It looks to me very, very clamshell-like. Behind it, there's an interesting couple of things too, which I can't really see, but if you went to this and you increased the contrast on it, I think that a lot of these tiny little details like this stripe and this dotting here would really stick out to you. It's definitely something. Then we have this. Again, could just be a strange blurry photo for one, and strange erosion. I called it the spiral ham rock, but That's interesting. It almost looks like it's fucking photoshopped in there. It's not. I've seen the raw photo. This is from the raw photo. But it almost looks like a like a spiral frosting or something. Also, if you squint, this looks like an astronaut bending over and farting. The black rock here has some really cool erosion, which it does. It almost looks like coral or something. It's very, look how smooth it is on top with whatever the fuck this face thing is here, which is just laying on top of it. Totally smooth. It's almost like a petrified tree trunk. Very cool. What I wouldn't give to just be able to walk around these sites. Oh, there's the rover. Better get home. Just looks like someone in like a shawl and a dress walking up the hill. There's actually a lot of stuff. We saw the little shadow guy earlier. There's a lot of stuff that my brain's like, that's a people. Here's the space husband. Dust soup's getting cold. There it is right there. Head, torso. Same thing. And just for clarification, obviously, I am making jokes here. Let's go back. I found something similar on another Gigapan, which I will show you. Invisible rocks. You can see through this rock. Yeah, all the way down. You can see through it. There's a rock coming through it, but you can see through this rock. And that's not the only one I found. I have found a number of rocks and Gigapans on Mars that are invisible. You know what? Real quick, let me jump over to the other thread, and right away you'll see one that pretty clearly a fucking invisible rock. What the fuck? How does that, what is that? How does that happen? Here's a slightly further away shot. Same rock. You're clearly seeing the rock behind it. So what the fuck is going on with these invisible rocks? That's bonkers to me. That is bizarre. All right, but we'll get back. We'll get back to this thread in a minute. It's that this thread has one of my favorite finds, but we'll get there. Moving on. If I didn't know better, I'd say this looks like a specifically carved wall. It's got right angles. It's straight. Like, there's a bunch of shit in here, but like, it really does look deliberate. I also want to note. You see all the what are they called, striations in the rock here, all the lines. You're gonna see that in a lot of these, and that adds to a lot of the optical illusion of these things. A lot of the pareidolia is because of the way these rocks are naturally stripped. And you'll see some weird things. You're like, what the fuck? But keep this in mind. Lost the fridge in the crack. This is just a very square block. It's got the lines across it, but it's also got lines down, creating a cross sort of shape. Very interesting that it's that square. It's rectangular, but it's kind of square with the lines. This one seems to wrap around it. You can see there. It's, again, what I wouldn't give to like wander around these sites. This area, these things are a little too blurry, but you can see some small details that make me go, oh, there's something there. Here's one. Speaking of things that look deliberately carved, I probably don't need to point out to you what here looks carved, right? That looks like a fucking, like a wall or a bay door. It's wild. All right, here is what I call cake. You can see again these lines. These look slightly different though than the other ones. The other ones, let's go back. You see, these are pretty much even all the way across. On the cake, though, which you can see here, they're a little more loosey-goosey. This one's thick, this one's thin, this one curves up, this one's straight. It's interesting. But it looks like a slice of cake. This one fucking knocked my socks off when I first saw it. I assume I don't need to point out to you what I think is weird here. That looks like a dude's head, right? Like the whole, like, there's faces on Mars and all that shit, and we've heard tons of them, and at best, like, we've seen a mountain range or a mesa or a plateau that like kind of looked like it in the 70s, but less so now. We've seen like an alien skull that was just a rock or whatever. This looks like, and I'm sure it's just the lighting and the angle and everything, but holy fuck, does that look like a face? That is... Some of these things that I'm seeing in these images, I'm like, how do I not see these on like Mars conspiracy websites? It's absolutely nuts. You know, if I remember, I'm going to show you something from... There was a guy on YouTube. I can't remember his name now. He also goes through gigapans of Mars and the moon. And he has found some incredible things. Sometimes he gets a little... But I've talked about it before. There is something he pulled up from a moon photograph, an official moon photograph, that absolutely fucking floored me. And it's actually the... let's get this out here. It's actually the header. I'm going to show you this header on my Twitter. And you're going to... This is from a fucking moon photograph. An official NASA image from the moon. This is in the night sky above the moon. It's bonkers. I will show you the video if I remember. Anyway, moving on. Goodbye, Mars. All right, so this one stuck out to me too. This is there's nothing like here that I'm like, oh, that looks like a thing. It's just like the way this goes in, the even cuts, and then over here we have those striations again. I think I'm using that word correctly. I think I'm not sure. But yeah, it's interesting. But I mean, not like sit and talk about it for 5 minutes. Interesting. This one might be though. It starts off very sharp and smooth. You have those striations again, and then a wiggle little bit down there. It's interesting. I don't know, but to me, I was like, what the fuck is going on there? Up next, we have the secret snake, which to me, this portion right here, this little rock, looks like a snake slithering out from the darkness. But if that's the case, that's a big fucking snake. No thanks. Here is a more really weird erosion, if that's the case. You can see like wiggly bits coming up and around and down. If you go and check these out, use your mouse to follow some of these lines and like explain, try to explain to yourself. This one goes back behind this thing, around, under here. These things go up under that lip. Try to explain it to yourself in your mind, how these things are going on. It's bizarre. We got more fucking weirdo people looking things here. There also seems to be, now again, this is straight out of a gigapan, which are a bunch of images, official images sewn together to create a much larger image. There is a line here that does not seem to match up. It goes right up through. Here you can see it. Here you can see it. Here you can see it. So I don't know what the deal is there. You can see it down here. But yeah, it looks like just two folks hanging out. That brings us to a grand total of 5 in this picture alone. I'm not saying they're people. I'm saying they're things that just look like silhouettes of people. All right, then we got the weird Mars toilet thing, my official name for it. There's another seam on the photo there. See how smooth this is around, there's like an indentation. Then it comes down. It almost looks like it changes material right here. It's very white and then it's very brown right there. Then it kind of has like these tube sort of structures. Very interesting. And we got what I called a baby sandworm. Is that what this is? Is that what I'm talking about? It's got the two little tiny striations and a smooth wiggly bit right there. I don't know why I called it a baby sandworm. Moving on. This here. Again, more of that really thin rock. I don't know rock that... Again, I'm not a geologist. I don't know rock that erodes like that. But that looks to me like rusted metal. Like really old rusted metal. That's what it looks like. Like the kind you would see of like a shipwreck on an island that's been there for 150 years. That's what that looks like to me. Rusted metal. Also, we've got more straight lines there on a very smooth piece. This photo is just very bizarre to me. Then we've got a tire or something. Again, not a clear photo. It looks like a tire. If you're feeling fun, this looks like a cigarette, like a really big cigarette. Yeah, that's bizarre because there's clearly an indent in it. And then we have this very broken jug-like erosion. It almost to me looks like a boat or like the remains of a tube of some sort. That looks smooth as hail. Also, what the fuck is this? See how that like curves in straight. All right, then we also, I'm not onto something because my stream hasn't been killed yet. I'm clearly not onto anything. Then we got this block. Now, I want to point out there is a seam in the photos right there. You can see it here. But it's fucking 90 degrees. It looks three-dimensional, like a cube. And we also have this thing in the sand here with odd shapes. That could just be a pile of rock soap. But this fucking cube and this flat thing right in front of it. Interesting. Moving on. I called this cool moss in my caption. I don't know what to make of it. Maybe it's moss. It kind of looks like a fucking cave painting or something, but more tiny holes in the rocks. Maybe this section was underwater at some point, and this is just whatever burrowed in there or something. I'm not sure. But you see these striations again. Here is more of what to me looks like rusted metal. This almost actually looks burned. But yeah, it looks like there was a sheeting that got rubbed out, worn out, rusted, burned off. This is very smooth. That's probably sand. But it's very flat all the way across. You also have this section right here, which comes out above this. Like there was something there and it got worn away. Lots of little intricacies in the dark areas too. Under here you've got a straight line underneath this rock, which seems to go right there too. It's probably, I don't know, I'll have to look at that a little more. Then we've got another cool hole in a rock. You can see the hole actually started to form between the striations in that section. And this looks a scraped triangle. Look at how deep that's cut. It becomes just a scrape. It meets right there. It goes back up. You've got a lot of these little lines coming down. Maybe that's from shit rolling down the fucking... the rock itself. The triangle's weird. The triangle's fucking weird. The hole in the rock is fucking weird. Again, it's this thin rock. Look at this curved piece here. Again, rusted metal is what it reminds me of. You can see Here, you have more lines coming down from that same point. And they're not in line with it. They're going the opposite direction as the striations. And lastly, in this thread, we've got this smooth piece here. But then what the fuck is this? I called it a Martian lunchbox. I just don't have any other. If I saw this outside, granted, it's a blurry photo. I can't really tell. But it looks like there's something in the middle. And then there's like these thin pieces coming up over it. Very strange. So that was thread 1 of some of my gigapans that I've looked at on Twitter when I'm bored. Let's go through thread 2. Here's that invisible rock. Bizarre. Just bizarre. I don't know how to explain that. You can see the rock through it. You can see... I don't know. I would love somebody to explain this to me. And there's the close-up of it. I'm certain it's an optical illusion. It has to be. It fucking has to be, right? Little burned out spot. That could be a camera error. See, this is a larger shot of where that burned out spot is. Could be. But, like, I don't know. Maybe it's another little fake Martian person. Again, jokes. Then we have this fucking thing. Okay, so we've got the same sort of style of rock with the striations, but you've got this is like holding it there. It's like wrapped around it. You've got a section up top with these little points coming off of it. So weird. It reminds me of like a ship, like a cargo ship. It's the framing here that makes it so bizarre to me. I honestly don't know what to make of it. We have some more straight lines. This looks like a buried cube right there. There's a reason, right? What the fuck was I looking at here? It's hard to tell sometimes. Oh, I see it. There's a couple of things in this image. One, this area here. Look at all these dot down there, almost like vertebrae or something on that. And then you've got this white orb thing, and you can see the shadow underneath it as if it's floating or jutting out. But it's white, it's spherical, and there appears to be a dark spot in the center. Very bizarre. Also, look how smooth this rock is. Then it's got this like jutting branch thing coming out of it. Just a very strange rock pattern with, I don't know, there's all these like lines in it. Totally could be erosion. But to me, it was like, what the fuck is that? Moving on, we've got, I don't know, is this ice? Is this a type of dust? A lot of straight lines. It could be collecting on the striations. It's almost like blue, and I know a lot of these images are color corrected, but still, that's just so bizarre to just see sticking out in the middle of the landscape, especially what we're told is a dead landscape where everything's essentially the same. Okay, this one, is this a camera error? Because it looks like there's something here with like, fuck, that almost looks like a sandworm in the background or something, you know? But it looks like there's something here, and then there's this. What the fuck is this? This doesn't match anything in any of these photos. Is it camera error? Maybe. But it happens to line up with this specific thing. I honestly don't know what to make of it, because it looks like there's sunlight and shadow on it. So I genuinely don't know what to think about this one. All right, we got a bunch of just random shit in this one. A lot of the thin rocks, a lot of the pointy, jagged stuff, but it's this thing in the middle, which is huge. And I have to kind of like guess about how big these things are, but maybe the size of a small car. But it certainly looks like a head. an elongated head, but it looks like one. This is, I think, so there's a lot of my brain putting together things here. This seems like something like large floating in the landscape here, like this would be a shadow. But I think what I'm actually looking at here is more of that weird discoloration on the rocks, and it's just giving the image of something three-dimensional. But it's bizarre to me. Let's see, was that all I had, or did I have more? I'm pretty sure I have more. There was one specifically that I know I haven't shown you because it blows my fucking mind every time I see it. All right, we saw that one. Yeah, we saw these. Here's another thing that sticks out of the rock a little bit, like the secret snake. Here is another secret snake. It almost looks like a lion head here coming out. I'm not saying it's anything, it's just interesting. Then we have this fucking thing, which to me is like one of the most bizarre goddamn things I've ever found in these photos. It certainly has the appearance of rock. But if you don't look at that and immediately think what I'm thinking, there's no way that you don't know exactly what I'm thinking when I look at this picture. Right? We're going to move on, but all of these pictures you can find. Right here is the Gigapan. All right, moving on. We've got, what was I looking at here? There's these straight log looking things. This is very weird to me. Nothing too big and important in this one. But this one, look at that. Does that not look like an intentionally curved rock wall or something that's just like blasted apart? It's flat on top. It looks intentionally built and then destroyed. That looks like ruins. Also, there's a nice flat square thing over here. And something that looks carved out here in the rock too that I'm just seeing. But yeah, this thing is like, I saw that and I was like, holy shit. More little Martian people. Maybe 3 or 4 of them up here. This one specifically. Lots of those fucking things. Those must be a type of rock that just juts out all over the place on Mars. Because I see so many of these fucking things in these photos. It's bizarre. Here's a close-up image of that other thing that looked three-dimensional. And I think this is the last image. This looks like a pillar with a top there and a hole cut out in the middle. That's why I saved it. Also over here, looks like a tree stump with like a circular base on it. So I think that's all of them. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's all of them. All of those. This is from another website. Disclosure Team Liverpool found this. I think in the same image that I was looking at. What the fuck is that? That looks like piping or metal or something. You also got all this shit over here. These smooth objects. This is the dude that I was talking about with the moon photo. So anyways, fucking look at Gigapants, because they blow my mind all the time. And it's a hell of a way to kill some time. But let's get back to what we were actually doing. Retired CIA officer John Ramirez on UFOs warned something big is coming in 2027.
What we would do if there was like a mass, what we would do if there was like a mass landing. Would we just simply prepare for a conflict, or would we actually initiate something? That's
Right.
a scary thing.
Well, I think the dialogue we're having now in this country, even with the recent legislation that passed through the legislature and is on its way up to the president's desk, um, even with that, we're kind of preparing the U.S. population at least, and by extension, the world population, into that reality that there is a presence here, and that we need to explain this presence. Because if they show up and we continue to do what we did before previous decades, and they show up, there will be mass panic. But if you understand that these are real, and we have 5 years from 2022, or maybe now 4 years, if they come in 2027, for the U.S. government to prepare the people about what is up there. And in many ways, I think the word got out within the government that they're showing up in 2027, and we better be prepared. And if not, there's going to be a lot of explaining to do. And so I think that dialogue has happened within inside the government, in certain areas inside the government, that we need to prepare. And that's why in 2017, that set a clock of 10 years. And why Lou Elizondo earlier in this year said, just find a hobby for 5 years, and it'll all be out in 5 years. And he said that this year, so that was 2027.
Huh.
And I would say I've heard 2027 in a kind of an official capacity that I can't reveal. So I think I would say that people in the government are aware of something happening, and that there's limited time, a few more years to prepare the people, and that's what's ramping up this acceleration from the previous 7 decades of not even acknowledging it to now we are acknowledging it at a faster and faster pace.
Who the fuck is this John Ramirez guy? Retired CIA officer. Let's go to the original link. I wish there was more context on this 2027 date. Yeah, I don't know. There is a lot of, oh my god, there's so many predictions and shit, and supposed prophecy and math from various sort of fringe researchers that points to that same time period, like 2030-ish. I'm hearing it all the fucking time. 2025, 2027, 2030, 2035. That whole area. A lot of people on the fringe tend to bring that up. So I wish we had a little more context on why he is specifically saying 2027, but of course won't. So ex-CIA, huh? The problem with ex-CIA is, I don't know if you've ever met a former cop, but they're still cops. Period. They act like cops and they'll fucking report you to cops. So there's no reason for me to think that ex-CIA isn't going to still act like CIA. And spread, disinfo and fucking, I don't know, say shit like this. So that, the UFO community begins to say, 2027, and so we just all look like fucking crazy people again. Whatever you do. If you want to learn gardening or self-defense or something, go for it. That's good shit to know anyway. But don't go around telling people it's because in 2027 you think fucking aliens are going to come. Don't do that. Let's see. What else we got here? Yeah, stop believing predictions. 2030 agenda. Yeah. Let's see. What is this Twitter link for? Oh, it's a House and Wise link. Hey, real quick, don't go to House and Wise. It's just a fucking garbage. It seems like it's written by AIs or bots. It's fucking garbage. I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. I wouldn't hold my fucking breath, though. A pseudoplesiosaur is a globster. I'm sure you've seen this image before. A dead animal that washes up on a beach or is caught that resembles a plesiosaur despite not being one. Usually this is caused by basking sharks decomposing in odd ways. The best known examples are the Stranze beast and the Zoyomaru carcass. So this is a real clear example. You have this at first, these things rot away, it then ends up looking like this, which is this. That's a great example. This looks like a mimic story. We're not going to deal with it. I just want to look at like actual shit tonight, unless I see something that really pops up at me. Pentagon, no plans to release images of unidentified objects from shoot down. Whoa, fuck! Obviously. Do we want to get a little conspiratorial? I don't even think anybody's. Is anybody even fucking here? Hey, if you're here and watching, say hi in the chat so I know. I'm not really looking at the stats, but I've got the chat window open. Say hi so I know who I'm talking to. Anyway, I have this doubt. I'm not saying it's a belief, but I have this doubt that fucking anything at all got shot down in those 4 days. You had the balloon, the Chinese balloon, right? Which is a whole other fucking discussion to have. You had that fucking thing shot down. And then the East Palestine, Ohio disaster happened. It continues to happen. But it was not really in the news cycle until it started blowing up on social media. Twitter at first, and then kind of everywhere else. And then you started hearing about it a lot more. But instead, what you were hearing in the news cycle the week it was happening was, we shot down these mystery objects. Oh, and they were in remote areas. Oh, we can't retrieve them. Oh, there's no photos. We've got fucking 4K footage of that goddamn Chinese balloon. That fucking thing went all over the place. We got footage of that, but we don't have footage of these things. There's cameras in those fucking jets. We have no footage. And now there's no plans to release images of unidentified objects from recent shootdowns. So let's read the debrief. This week, the U.S. Department of Defense released the selfie taken by the pilot of a U-2 spy plane as it flew over a suspected Chinese surveillance balloon as it passed over the continental U.S. in early February. Captured by a smartphone from the cockpit of a nearly 70-year-old high-altitude reconnaissance plane, the stunning image provided unprecedented details of the suspected Chinese spy balloon, which was eventually shot down by an F-22 fighter jet off the coast of South Carolina on February 4th. However, the release of the photo has caused many to ask, what about the images showing the 3 unidentified objects shot down in rapid succession near Alaska, northern Canada, and Lake Huron, the week of February 10th? For now, the Pentagon will not confirm it even has images of these incidents, much less that it has any plans to publicly release imagery of the 3 unidentified airborne objects. The only aerial image that has been cleared for release was of the PRC-HAB surveillance balloon shot down off the coast of South Carolina. A spokesperson for the Office of the Secretary of Defense told the debrief. No other aerial images have been released, and we do not have any additional information to provide. That's the spy balloon. So, of course, fucking anybody who's not well versed in this shit immediately was like, well, we're fucking shooting the aliens. It's getting in the public consciousness, but it's distracting from the actual natural disaster that happened, or man-made natural disaster, unnatural disaster that happened. I think that was the main purpose. I also think it's important to note that these 3 objects, especially the first one, which we have the most detail on, were not acting at all like the actual government reports of UAPs say these things act. For example, the first one was going 20 to 30 miles per hour, essentially drifting at that height, and was easily shot down. Now you look at like the Nimitz encounter, just to use a quick one that most people know about. The fucking thing was not going to get shot down. It was pew, 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 It was blipping in and out. It fucking zipped away. It went, what, like 60 miles in a half a second or some crazy shit. You weren't shooting it down. And it wasn't drifting at 20. And it apparently shattered when it hit the water. It just does not fit doesn't fit as a UFO at all. I think that the idea that they were benign amateur hobbyist or research balloons is accurate. I think that that's probably exactly what they were, if they were anything at all. They certainly weren't aliens. It just seems so fucking obvious, especially that 3 of them were shot down. You read those reports of like actual UAP, and they're a huge pain in the ass to everyone involved. There's no shooting them down, as far as we know. I mean, there are stories of like us taking down craft here and there, but like not 3 in a week. At least one group, the Northern Illinois Bottle Cap Balloon Brigade, has said that one of its hobby balloons went missing in action over Alaska the same day. We won't get those images because it doesn't fit the narrative. Let's see, what else have we got here? What time is it? 8:21. Going over a little hour, over an hour. That's cool. Hows and whys, we're not even going to bother. Come on, give me some meat, Reddit. What do you got? Lon says, hey folks, Phantom and Monsters blog will be on hiatus for the majority of next week. You'll be having lung surgery. That's fine. Thanks, Lon, for all the good work you put in. I appreciate it. I think a lot of us do. Do y'all want to watch ghost videos and make fun of them? Oh shit, what's this? Hold on. We'll get to the ghost videos. A UFO documentary library. Oh shit. Hey, rad. So this is, I gotta upvote it so I don't lose it. It's over on our UFO documentaries. If you want to check it out, I would highly suggest it. Look at all this time you can kill. Look at this. Moon mines, pyramids, and cities. Cool. Rad. I'm fucking watching that one for sure. Let's see here. Give me 1 second. I'm going to just... fuck it. Never mind. Well, I was going to throw it in the description right now, but I'll be honest. I don't care. If you're watching, if you've made it an hour into this broadcast, I hope you're with me. UFO Documentary Library is the name of the playlist. Go check it out. It looks like there is just a fucking ton of cool shit here. Alright, let's watch some ghost videos.
Ghost on CCTV. Posted to the subreddit Ghost by the user Rimmon8. He explains that a security camera on one of his properties triggered an alarm and that nothing had been stolen. But the footage from the camera showed some kind of ghostly figure moving across one of the rooms. Take a look.
Alright, right away, we need to talk about 2 things. It's not a great camera. It's the image quality in the dark is not great. It also looks like it's not filming like 60 fucking FPS. It looks like it's maybe 20 at best. So dim light, low frame rate, that could just be a normal human being walking through a room. Continue.
The ghostly transparent figure can be seen moving across the room and exiting out of the hallway.
Yeah, there's a frame there.
After the alarm gets triggered. The ghostly transparent figure can be seen moving across the room and exit.
Here. And the frame before it and slightly after it. You can clearly see like a flesh tone. I think it's just a dude walking through his house.
Out of the hallway. Shortly after the alarm gets triggered.
Dude, you got a squatter. Like, you should call somebody.
The comments are a little split about if this is some good evidence of an actual.
It's not. It's a dude wearing shorts. You can
Leave it
see
up
he's
to
wearing
you to
shorts.
decide.
It's just low light, shitty camera.
Moving wheelchair.
That's what they're supposed to do.
Yet another video posted to the same subreddit by the user Stalker the Zone. He works with security at a hospital and usually has the night shift. He often patrols the hallways, making sure everything is as it should be. But late one night, he experiences something bizarre when patrolling the hallways. He usually takes notice
Show me the
of his
video.
surroundings, and after doing his first round, he notices that one of the wheelchairs has moved from his previous lap. Watch what happens next.
Oh, I've seen this one.
See, I fucking no. He
No,
started
no, no, no,
recording
no, no, no.
after he was sure he saw it move. Shortly after he started recording, the wheelchair started to move by itself. He further explains that he has never experienced anything similar before at this hospital, and that this is the first experience with anything paranormal, and that this has made him go from a non-believer to a believer in the paranormal.
I think I covered this video at some other point on another live stream. To me, it looks like... Christ, we still got fucking 10 minutes of this. To me, it looks like there was a string here, and he pulls it towards him. If it went the other way, that'd be maybe somewhere else. There's a reason. I think that he pulls it toward him.
Experience with anything paranormal, and that this has made
But
him
it is
go from
this
a
wheel
non-believer
that is
to a
in
believer
charge.
in the paranormal.
Front
Let us
passenger
watch it
side.
again, and be sure to let me know what you think. Also, please remember to like this video so you can reach out to more people and possibly give them some chilling scares.
Come on.
See, I fucking no. Apparition in haunted sanatorium. Who doesn't love Urbex Hill's urban exploration videos? This time, this is at the Molly Stark Sanatorium. The sanatorium used to take care of tuberculosis patients back in the early 1900s and is located in Stark County, Ohio. It was opened in 1929, but a few decades later, the need for a sanatorium like this was eliminated due to some newly made antibiotics against tuberculosis. During its active period, patients would die occasionally, and the abandoned sanatorium is rumored to be haunted. Chris is here to put it to the test, and surely succeeds as he captures an apparition on camera.
This shit looks like those Mars rocks. Oh, I think I've seen this one too.
Shortly after entering the building, Chris can hear footsteps from the floor above. He is supposedly alone.
Meanwhile, the dude upstairs is like, I hear somebody below me.
Evidence and doesn't let a few footsteps scare him as he continues the exploration by heading down the underground floor.
Bro, stop talking. Shut up.
As he walks around in the basement of the building, he seems to hear something resembling a keychain dangling and a disembodied voice of some sort. But I'm wondering if you noticed that one of the doors seems to have moved towards this direction in the beginning. As we can see, the door seems to move slightly towards him.
It does.
This investigation is already showing some paranormal signs, but wait and see what they
Or
will
there's
capture
fucking
on camera
somebody
as they explore
there. He heard footsteps. He heard. I mean, I'm not saying I would go down there. Obviously, I've seen way too many fucking. Dude, I saw Barbarian. I'm not going in there. Oh yeah. Looks like you just have another Urban Explorer down there, man. Or your buddies down there. Good video. Get those clicks, my man. Yes, go toward them. Jackass. This is how I know it's fucking staged. I mean, Urbex, you've got some fucking balls for going in this place. I'll give you that. But come on. Do better.
After hearing more footsteps, as he was walking into the tunnel, he eventually stumbled upon something resembling some kind of white apparition.
No, it looks like a dude in a fucking white t-shirt.
Away from Chris.
Look at an apparition.
Camera for a brief moment before it seemed to just disappear into the darkness of the tunnel.
Yeah, dude was like, oh shit, there's somebody there. I'm gonna go back this way. It looks like a dude in a white jacket.
Convinced that it could have just been some person being down there, and he keeps heading into the same
Yeah, dude.
direction until
Housing
he
is
gets
fucking
to that
crazy.
end.
People need to
There is
sleep.
nowhere to be seen, and if this had been an actual person, he wouldn't have been able to get away like that. What are your thoughts on this apparition? Let's
Keep
watch
going.
it again before heading over to our next
I want to
video.
know that it's a dead end, because that does not look like a dead end. It looks like there's cutaway there. I don't know. I'm not convinced.
Shadow figure on the plane. This one is surely creepy.
This is a good one.
Dark,
I've seen this one. I don't know what to think about this one, but I remember the first time I saw it, I was like,
Fuck,
fuck, nope, out.
That was seemingly empty. The plane had been parked for the night and should have been completely empty. He decides to investigate the plane to make sure that nobody was left behind on the locked airplane by accident. He captures something truly disturbing on camera.
I wish it was slightly higher quality because the video is just fucking fantastic. It's so good, it makes me think it's fake. Did you see it? See, there's a little dude creeping there. Hello. Even now that I'm like sitting here on stream joking with you, I'm like, chills up my back.
Hanging out around the
So
corner
good.
close to the back entrance.
Cause he was just back
The
there.
flight is completely dark, but through the light of his flashlight, one can clearly see that the figure is just pure darkness and doesn't seem to reflect any light at all. When he spots the figure, he runs towards the front entrance of the plane, as this has terrified him. What do you think about this one?
It's a fucking good one. I love it.
You decide. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying the scary compilation so far, as I would love to see you watching my videos in the future as well. Be sure to join the Discord if you want to take part of the community. Everyone can join. Link is in the description.
Hello.
Cemetery.
Alright, number one. You better be fucking spooky.
To the YouTube channel Franco TV. Franco is a paranormal investigator and is fairly known in the paranormal community. This time, he finds himself at a cemetery that is rumored to be extremely haunted. During his investigation,
Side note, I live in a town where we claim to have the most haunted cemetery in America. And I have heard so many intense tales of people in that cemetery, of people that I know that are generally not into this sort of thing. And I think this summer, and I'm going to follow Keel's method of dates and times, and I'm going to go then. I'm considering bringing somebody with me, maybe a couple of somebodies, and perhaps do the Estes method. We'll see. Is that a bad idea? Maybe, but I'm smart. I'll prepare myself for it. While we're on the topic of cemeteries and shit.
He's able to capture
Maybe I'll film it.
Dark figure on camera. Take a look.
I am right now in the witch's area here. There's a witch tomb where people come to visit. I actually believe it's on this side. The thing is, I'm strictly night vision. Sorry. There we go. Strictly night vision right now. And I can't see too well, so I might turn on the light. But this is where I was hearing one of the creepiest things being out here was a creepy laugh.
It's a good laugh.
Hello? I'm trying to see if I hear it. A minute ago, right while I was starting the video, I did hear what sounded like someone yelling, but it ceased to happen again. What is this? Some more of a liquid here.
Piss.
Not sure what that is. It's just random.
It's
small
piss.
liquid. It feels cramped.
Somebody got scared.
This area.
Peed.
Kind of like an uneasy presence, kind of. Or like you're expecting something to happen. Maybe that's because I'm just at a graveyard. That's it.
It's a good wailing sound.
Georgina? Hello? Georgina? There's the scream.
Kill the fucking spooky music, dude. Just let me hear the ambient noise. Fuck, that's annoying.
I swear if I see somebody peeking around the corner.
This is night vision? This is the best goddamn night vision I've ever seen. It looks like broad daylight.
I'm actually looking through the night vision with you guys so I can see anything. I hear a kid.
You're in the middle of Lima, dude. It's like one of the biggest cities in that country. Of course you do. Hello. That's apparently my ghost voice. I guess I don't. It's a splotch.
I don't know if that's a person.
Some kind of dark figure
Call out.
standing next to the graves. It's completely still and doesn't seem to move at all. I'll leave the final judgment.
I've never seen a sky look that fucking bright in night vision. That's crazy. I'm not saying it's fake night vision, but I'm just saying, what is that tech? Because I want
Check
that.
out some of these videos. I hope you like this.
All right, I don't know. Let's do a couple more. Let's do a couple more things here. Oh, let's see. ASMR. No, go away. I don't know what this is, so I'm not watching it. Are there tales of fairies being kind to strangers? Yeah, they all start that way, and then you can never escape. Don't eat the food, okay? Like rule number 1, don't eat the food. You find yourself lost in the woods, turn your clothes inside out, okay? Those 2 things, those are important. If you get a bad feeling before crossing a stream, turn around. Or trees that kind of look bendy like a doorway, turn around. I know that sounds like superstition, but listen. Can't be too safe, right? I read this Wendigo meat thread. It's not nearly as entertaining as just the idea of Wendigo meat. Also, I wouldn't eat Wendigo meat because isn't the whole like theory is it's like a cannibalist wasting away sort of thing, and like you eat somebody and then you're like damned to be a Wendigo and et cetera, et cetera. Don't eat Wendigo meat. That's a fucking stupid idea. What are you doing? What do you think about this alien? I don't fucking care about that either. All right. Maybe that's it for tonight. Yeah, I guess that'll be it for tonight. Anyway, let's do the grow up. Bum 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 bum. So yeah, thanks for hanging out. I'll probably do this from time to time. I know I fucking say that all the time, and like my content has gotten lazier and lazier. But I also think the freeform thing is kind of fun, especially because I can just riff. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. Even though I'm pretty sure I was the only one here. We looked at some Mars photos. We made fun of ghost videos. We did good work, is what I'm saying. Go check out that UFO library on YouTube. I didn't write it down, but anyway, I made some Mars. Thanks for hanging out. I hope y'all stay safe. Have a great upcoming week and the rest of your weekend, and you know, take care of yourselves. Bye.